Yes! Little hiatus. Basically in a different country, a different world now. Coming to you from the gates of hell. It's actually a lot nicer than you'd think. It's also known as Arizona. Beautiful. Great people. The pools are awesome. The food is amazing. It's hot as a bull's ball sack. But yeah, it's pretty chill down here. So that's why you got a solo episode, because I need to fix the internet where we're at. And I wasn't able to get the little back and forth going with Chris. So we will have that. We should have that next week. If not, Chris is going to do a solo episode, and you'll get that. And then we will then definitely have one. So with that, what we got today is pet peeves. Jiu-Jitsu pet peeves that I personally absolutely hate. A couple honorable mentions of stuff that I regularly do. Some things I did within the last week since I've been in Arizona. And yeah, it's just fairly embarrassing, but I'm going to bring them up. Okay. So a little bit different style of content on this one. You're going to notice it immediately, because we're going to clip in some stuff that as I was writing these out, I was like, oh, that reminds me of this. That reminds me of this. So with that, I want to lead it off with the Mount Rushmore of pet peeves in Jiu-Jitsu. I want to hear what your guys' Mount Rushmore is. I think there's some obvious ones that basically everyone's going to pick, so I'll run through those really quick. But I feel like everyone probably would mix and match one or two of these. You know, maybe pull one out, put one in. So I'm probably going to miss something, even in the whole list. But let me know what your Mount Rushmore of pet peeves within Jiu-Jitsu are. With that, let's kick it off with Stinky Gi guy. This one's easy. I mean...
Excuse me.
Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee tuna?
When you're stinky rash guard, stinky gi, when your rash guard is stinky, it's done. You throw it away. It's done. Your white vinegar, your Odoban, your OxyClean, your nuclear fallout, none of it works. It smells like goat piss. Now, was I guilty of wearing one of these rash guards today? Yes, I was. I didn't notice it, and that's the thing. You don't notice it until that first sweat break. As soon as warm-ups ended this morning, what the? Damn it. So now I'm on an apology tour. I'm like R. Kelly going around to every single person saying, hey, sorry for pissing on you. It's horrific. Next. I mean, this is going to be on everyone's list. That's my prediction, that this is going to be the one that is literally on every single list. Flow roll, but then they decide to go full William Wallace. Hey, you want a flow roll? 30%. What do you think? Okay, that sounds good. Are you kidding me, dude? It's like 28 days later over here. We're not talking about the slow Walking Dead zombies. We're talking about the, like, you know, Michael Johnson sprinter zombies. You got Usain Bolt out there. Like, why? What is in your brain? We all have friends. This is the thing. We all have these guys, and we like them. We like you.
Oh, God. I wouldn't last in jail, Oscar. I'm not like you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you don't know about jail? Oh, you would love jail.
Why would I love jail?
Because you would love it.
We enjoy you as a person in our life. But you're trying to hurt me. Maybe you're not trying to hurt me, but you are hurting me. You're hurting my soul. And it drives us freaking nuts. We know you're not going to go 30%. We know you're not going to go 70%. Okay? Why? Go get help. This is probably my top one on the Mount Rushmore. I just got to keep my timer. Oh, coaching through submissions. Yeah. This kills my insides. This one will make me want to switch teams real quick. And I don't mean jiu-jitsu teams. So, that was offensive, I'm sorry. When someone has you in a submission, now, okay, context. Let's say it's a lower belt, you're an upper belt, they happen to catch you in like a deeper submission. You're in a triangle, you're in an armbar, you're whatever. And they're struggling to finish it. Because you got caught slipping. And you're like, ooh, jeez. Now you got that arm in there. You're like, okay, I got to work my way out. And now you're putting in good defense. Like before, maybe you were a little lackadaisical. There's a good chance. That's why a lower belt even put you in a sub. Now you're putting up a good fight and they're struggling to finish. Let them struggle. They don't get reps in this moment of having an advanced person in a deep submission. So you're stealing this chance for them to try to work it out on their own. Save your Phil Jackson coaching for after. Be like, hey, you know why you didn't finish that? You know why? Because you're bad at jiu-jitsu. Also, you should have put boots on and clamped down and squeezed your knees. You see what I'm saying? It's that easy. Rather than in the middle of the triangle, your arms across your neck, and you're like, you're defending. You know what? Put boots on. You should close your knees now. You're a monster on the inside. Okay? You're also stealing a good practice session, a good moment for yourself, because now you're in a deep sub. You got a less advanced person trying to do it to you, so you get to actually practice getting out from a deep sub, because if that was someone your skill level, you're probably getting finished, or there's a higher chance, right? Don't be a butthole surfer, okay? Stop it. And I know some of you do it. I've done it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I know some of you have. Okay, now this one's a little unique. You have to probably be a black or brown belt for this one, and in the trust tree at your gym of coaches. But when a new black or brown belt, maybe even purple belt, I could imagine it. But typically this is going to be a black or brown, typically even more so black, excuse me. When they just start at your gym and then they ask you if they can coach a couple classes, or if they can take on a kids class program, or if they can take on a women's class, you're a bad person. You're not good on your soul. You need Jesus. And what's wrong with you? First of all, because that's weird, right? Like, you just met someone, a business owner, and now you want to coach their kids program? Yep, perfect. Or you want to coach like a ladies class? Yeah, you weirdo. Okay? Don't do that. That is silly. Now, I already told you I did one of these. Did I do that one? I kind of did. And it hurts. I apologized literally the next day. Why? Because my wife, for 30 minutes on the drive home, was like, what are you doing? It slipped out. I wanted to let them know I like teaching, and instead what I said was like, hey, if you ever need someone to fill in. It hurts my stomach even talking about it. It hurts. So I basically can't go back to that gym anymore. But that's what it makes me do. I just don't even know what to do. Oh gosh, I gotta move on. So that's my Mount Rushmore. Stinky gi rash guard, flow roll, then goes full William Wallace, coaching through submissions, and asking to coach a class your first, second, third time in at your new gym. What are yours? Okay, let's keep going. I ran across this one actually recently since I've been down here. I won't name names. You know me. Usually I'll throw the name out there because I'm new to the community. I don't want to completely become like the guy that just talks trash on the internet yet. But they don't allow drop-ins. That is weird.
Come on down, join the winning team. Because here at Globo Gym, we're better than you. And we know it.
Because when I'm down here, I'm trying to like feel out what gym do I want to go to. Like I got to feel out the vibe. I visited in October and I knew there was a couple gyms that I had gone to, and there was one that I was like, these guys seem pretty chill, real cool dudes. Shout out Aries, Arizona, Paul Nava, Ramsey, Amber, those guys and gals. So I was like, I think I'm maybe leaning that direction, but I gotta check things out, you know what I mean? And I go to an open mat, and there's a dude there from one of the gyms I want to check out. There's a prominent figure in Jiu-Jitsu that goes there. And so I was like, this could be pretty cool. And he seems chill. And the guy tells me, because I'm like, hey, I was thinking about dropping in. He goes, don't do it. Deadpan. And I go, oh, what? Why? And then he says, he'll just turn you away at the door. And I go, why? And he says, he's very old school Brazilian, and he doesn't like the creonte thing. And if you don't know what creonte is, Google it. Creonte. It's basically like old school mentality is don't cross train at other gyms and other teens and all that kind of stuff. Dumb. So have your gym, have your home gym, support your home gym, go to your home gym's classes. But you should be able to cross train. Cross training is fun. So this guy tells me if I just showed up and said, I want to try a class. I just moved here from across the dang country. I want to try a class. He would literally turn me away. Doesn't matter what belt I am or anything like that. He would say no. If I emailed and said, hey, I'm thinking about signing up. I'm thinking about joining. Can I try a class? Then he would say yes. Then I could wear his team gi. No. I just, after that open mat, I was like, cross them off the list. No. They suck ass. So, there's that. Now, this is one that really chaps my beehole. The gi or no gi debate. First of all, the like no gi guys that will not do gi because it slows them down, or it's like you tie me up and I can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's harder. Gi is harder. I'll take the Pepsi challenge. I don't care. Gi is more difficult because, yes, the grips are harder to deal with than in no gi. You can get out of more stuff. That's not to say trying to pin someone down in no gi is harder than pinning someone down in gi. Yes. But I think overall, it's more challenging to do gi than no gi. That's why you no gi specialists don't like it. Simple as that. Okay. And then the gi guys, you guys won't do no gi because it's too fast. People are sweating so much, and it's like you just slide right out of my arm bars and my triangles and yeah, tighten up your technique. Okay? It's the argument. Okay? The argument. Shut your mouth. Okay? They both got their own unique things. I primarily train gi, and I feel like I do fine in no gi. But it is good to train it, because you will, if you never do no gi, and if you, Keenan Cornelius on YouTube, on his Legion or Keenan Cornelius YouTube page, they did a test where they tried wearing street clothes and grapple, like sweatshirts and jeans and stuff like that. And they're all black belts, and they were like, let's see what we do. Do we naturally like grab, there's like those kind of like sweatshirt chokes. You can do cross collars and you can grab sleeves. And he's like, let's see what we naturally do. You almost always go for no-gi grips, just naturally. I've done this myself. I tested it while doing gi, where I was like, I'm just gonna like kind of just wrestle and like not try to do any like fancy jiu-jitsu or anything. And I was like, dang, I'm doing wrist grips, ankle grips, and underhooks and all that kind of stuff. So if you never practice that stuff, you're going to be a little sloppy. So from a self-defense perspective, I think actually doing no-gi every once in a while at least is good to do. You want to experience both. And then gi or no-gi guys, you need to experience what it's like when someone grabs a hold of your collar and grabs a hold of your clothing. Because if someone gets a pant leg grip on you, which is actually more realistic than probably even a sleeve grip, and you don't know how to break that thing, you just get tripped up. Man, this ain't no good. Ain't no good. Okay. Moving on. There's some people in this room that are guilty of this. Olivia's not in here. Let's make that clear. I meant this room. Tapping and telling. Tapping and telling. Hey, I get it. Small conversation. Hey, who I caught today. It's like your first time catching them, something like that. You're in the trust tree with your close friend. I get that. Done it. Do it. I got my boy Dan up in Cascade Jiu-Jitsu. I didn't tap this guy till I was a brown belt. He got his black belt, I think, when I was a brown belt. And I didn't catch this guy. We're talking like 4 years of a lot of rounds. I didn't even come close. And he knows this story. He had just talked to me about it like 3 weeks ago. I catch him in an armbar in situationals. So I just tapped and told. Frick! Well, anyways. And I catch him in an armbar in situationals, and then he had a little sabbatical. So life came up. He's gone for 3 months. He walks in the door, and I think I've told this story. He walks in the door to the gym, sees me because I was like changing my shoes or something, and he goes, "You think I forgot about that armbar a couple months back?" That's the first thing this psycho says to me. Of course I didn't forget about it. I thought about it every day. And once I saw his face walk in the room, I go, got him. I did not get him again. It was very miserable after that. But Did I tell my wife? Do you know I caught Dan today? Yes, I did. So I'm not saying, like, you can't talk about it, but for Pete's sake, don't go around the gym talking about it. Keep it very private because it comes off shitty. And realistically, if you're a lower belt and you catch an upper belt, the chances it was legit are very low. And that's not to say there's savage blue belts out there. You can catch black belts. I'm not saying that. There are unique scenarios out there. But a lot of the time you even got into the sub by the grace of your training partner. And when I say allowed, it's like we're not putting up as much resistance in this position or that position and stuff like that. And this will kind of come into play later with another pet peeve. And then once we're like, for me, I might be playing a little bit lighter. And then once you start to get into a position, then I'm working like pretty hard to get out or very hard. But telling people about it just comes off shitty. And then you don't know, the game of telephone happens. You don't know if they hear that you told someone overheard. Maybe you were telling the trust tree friend. I'm telling Olivia, I caught Dan with an armbar. But then there's little Bootsy just walking by with his sassy hips, zesty as ever. He hurt me. Well, Boots is a gossip queen, so of course he's gonna go and he's gonna go talk to Andrew. He's gonna tell my dad, Andrew. He's gonna tell Mom, Amy. He's gonna go tell Dan. Be like, freaking old Baldy Bill was bragging about tapping you. Did you know that? Did he actually tap you? Creates a poopy dynamic in the gym. Hurts your friend's feelings. Doesn't feel good, so don't do it. Boom. Okay. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt. Raspberry lemonade, in case you're wondering. Sideline coaching. We're friends. We're friends. I like you. I am talking to my friends that sideline coach.
We just didn't hold me there.
Shut up, Natalie!
I love you. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? There's a time and a place to coach. We all love, especially as upper belts, you just want to help people. Not everyone. Some people just want to watch the world burn. But a lot of time, if you have like that coaching desire, you see it, or you're just like a helpful person, you want to help them. And you see from the sideline them doing something. And you start, whoa, watch out for the wrestler. Watch out for the armbar. Oh no. Ah! No. You seen that commercial where it's like an insurance commercial. There's a guy with a mustache. He coaches adults on not being their parents. It's pretty funny commercials. That's what you need to have behind you. No, don't do it. We're not going to tell them what to do yet. We're going to tell them what to do after. And even then, we're not going to tell them what to do after. We're going to ask them, hey, what were you going for? You want to know why? Because a lot of the time, even blue belts, I'm excluding white belts because I'm racist, but even blue belts might be going for something that you don't even see. You can't feel the grips. You don't know what they're thinking. Maybe even if it's a blue belt going against a brown belt or a black belt. Wait, you're going to coach a blue belt against a black belt? You don't even know what the black belt's thinking. The black belt might be like, I'm just letting this guy work. or I'm not going to let him work in this position because I see that, for example, Kieran, he's part of our Fofoka group. Beautiful Armenian, Irish, Scottish, whatever he is. He he's very tricky. He's like me, he baits stuff. He likes to bait to get into submissions and stuff like that. Well, there's been times where I'm like telling him, do this. Well, what are you doing? Do this. Like, get that grip. And he doesn't do it. And then after I talk to him, he's like, yeah, I could hear you, and I wanted him to do this, and blah, blah, blah. So, like, you don't even know what's going on in the round, and you're starting to coach people. That is so frustrating. Don't do it. Save it for after. Ask, what were you trying to do there? Okay, I thought you were trying to do this. Never mind. Or, okay, do you know why that didn't work? From what I could see, it was this, this, and this. Okay? Hell, I was drilling with a white belt the other day. Talk about embarrassing. They were showing going into like starting with a De La Hiva on a combat base partner, switching your hip and going and switching to a cross collar grip, getting on your right hip, let's say, and then going for a scissor sweep. Well, they were teaching it differently, and I didn't even recognize this, that they went from collar sleeve with a De La Hiva to cross collar, but like doing like a double collar grip for a moment and then grabbing the other sleeve. What they were doing differently is they were going thumb in. So instead of here, and then what I would typically do is a cross collar grip with fingers in and then grab the sleeve and then take them over. They were doing thumb in. I didn't even pick up on that detail. Well, the white belt starts drilling it that way. Oh, you know what I did? Hey, you big idiot. You dummy. It's fingers in, you four-eyed freak. He had glasses too, so I'm being a little bit honest there, but he's not a freak and he's not four-eyed. Very nice fellow, actually. And I correct him. He does it again, like a little bit later. I go, no. Let me nurse you to water. Fingers in you. And you do it again, I'm going to kill you. How about that? Well, the next class, which was the next day, they warmed up with that same move. What did old Billy Boy notice? I noticed. For some reason, I picked up on it this time. As he's showing it, I look across the room and I see the white belt watching, taking notes of the grip. I thought about leaving. I thought, well, I had a good run at this gym. I guess I'll be going on to the next. Instead, I just went up to him and said, hey, I remember yesterday I was actually correcting your grip. I see that he's actually showing thumb in, and I'm sorry because I was drunk. I just blamed it on drinking. Got me. And I know, yes, you can do either or. It's just, it was different. Frick! That was humbling. So he told me, it was interesting after I apologized to him. He asked where I got my black belt and what my lineage was. So, sometimes you got to get belt checked. Okay. With the coaching thing. White and blue belts coaching. This is one that I'm going to assume other people are going to have in there. I'm actually not as much of a Goebbels as other people. Notice I didn't say the H word because YouTube algorithm. Often people say that they should never do it, but I don't know if I totally agree. If you're going to do it, if you're going to bless a fellow white belt or a fellow blue belt with, and you're a white or blue belt, with some sort of advice, just be humble about it. Like I was with glasses friend. I was as confident as it gets, and I was like, no, you're doing it wrong, you boner biter. Well, I was wrong. So humble yourself. And know that there's a good chance that you're actually going to say something wrong. Especially because you're not a black belt, you're not a brown belt, you're not even a purple belt. So at least preface it. I think this is how you're supposed to do it, and then ask at someone with a little bit more experience. But just if you go into it and be like, dude, you're doing that wrong, man. You need to freaking put your foot over here, and then you tickle their nose and stuff like that. Also, I put my big toe in a guy's mouth today. We're best friends. So I'm not actually, I think it's good to actually help, even if you're a white or blue belt. If you're a super new white belt, shut up and don't do anything. Just sit there and tie your belt, or try to at least. Okay, now this is one that I'm wondering if there's going to be many people, but I've seen this out there, and I'm completely guilty of this. I'm guilty of basically all of these, is what I'm finding out as I do this episode. Okay. Some people don't like when others talk during a round, and I'm absolutely guilty. I also don't care, because I like to have fun. And something that I came up with at my gym, not like I came up with, but I came up doing, is Andrew, he's on some of our episodes, is like my best friend. And we can have like a slobber knocker, just snot bubbles coming out of our nose, fight, and still make fart jokes and some sort of demasculating jokes in the middle of the round. And I think that's, I don't know, for me, that's enjoyable. Like, if I get too serious, unfortunately, we've seen it at the gym, I don't have great control. And I don't mean like I'm like flailing all over the place. I'm saying mentally, I get like so in my own head that I take it too seriously. And that's the same with tournaments. I compete so much better when it's just another day at the gym. When it's just, I'm loosey-goosey. You know what I mean? Silly as a goose. Wearing a noose. Thinking kind of obtuse. Coming home to roost. My name's Bruce. I lost it. Anyways, so, but I get why some people, if you're like, you know what, I'm training, I want to train. Which is actually one of the kind of the good things about the black belts with the white bar that indicates like competitor. Like, if I see that, I know that dude probably just wants to train. Like, I'm not gonna dilly-dally with him and tickle him or anything. I'm just gonna we're gonna get around him. So that is a good thing about that. But, and some people, I get it, you just want to get a good workout in and stuff like that. You're not really about it. And you can kind of put off that vibe. And I think it's fine, you know, where it's like, you're not really like someone's talking with you and you're just kind of quiet about it. It's like, oh, okay, this guy just wants to roll. And then I just roll. But you better believe I'm going to start telling jokes in the middle of our round. It's going to happen. You pass my guard, I'm going to make a joke about how easy it was for you to pass my guard. So it is what some people don't like it. Do you guys like that? Is the no talking thing, is like that a preference? Because I feel like I've actually seen more people comment about this than I thought I would have, which makes me think more people hate rolling with me than I actually think. So that's actually kind of shitty. Well, with that, that's my list. Mount Rushmore, let me know. We're going to have Chris doing a solo episode. I don't know if it's going to come out next week. We're going to try to have our normal schedule back, where Wednesday mornings they come out. This bad boy is coming out Friday morning just to bless you for the weekend, to see my bald, sweaty face. So with that, guys, see y'all later.